Alright, so you heard about this thing called Amazon FBA, but you have no idea how it works. You've heard people making life-changing money with it, but you just don't understand how it all comes together. And more importantly, you're not even sure if making money using it is even possible. But don't worry, in this video, I'm going to be going over not just what Amazon FBA is, but the different ways you can utilize it to actually make a lot of money. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as we're going to be dropping more Amazon FBA related material every week to make sure you succeed on selling on this platform. So if you're new to the platform, my name is Mar. I'm one of the co-owners of the company Abuv The Par with my two good friends. We've been selling on Amazon for the past 4 years. And since then, we've done about 30 million in sales, primarily selling on Amazon FBA in the US. All right, let's get to it. So the first thing we want to talk about is the difference between Amazon FBA and Amazon FBM. I'll explain what both of those are. So FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon, and FBM stands for Fulfilled by Merchant. Let's start with FBM. So FBM is like the most traditional way that you could actually do e-commerce. Like, think about it. If someone was to place an order on your website and you would have to go fulfill the order, right? Like, think back in the day, eBay, where you get an order from a customer, you go ship it, you go to the post office or UPS, and it goes to them. So that's fulfilled by merchant. The merchant, the seller, is actually handling the end delivery to the consumer. Every time you get an order, you pack it up, you send it to them. But FBA, completely different monster. So let's look at it like this. Usually when we shop on Amazon, which I'm sure we all have, hundreds of packages coming in on a monthly basis at this point. But when we go on our phone or on our desktop, we scroll down, we see add to cart or buy now, right? And we just hit the button. Now, a lot of people think that this product is coming from Amazon because they'll see, the Amazon Prime logo. We're excited, it's coming today, maybe tomorrow. At worst case, 2 days later. But in reality, it's really a seller like myself or another third-party seller or the brand that is actually the owner of the product or the owner of the sale. And Amazon is just handling the actual fulfillment to the customer. So what that means is that I'm selling on Amazon, I'm on the listing, or you in this case, and you're sending all of your products straight to Amazon. And then what they're doing is actually moving it around the nation and giving it to the end consumer. Kind of break it down a little more. What this looks like is, let's just say, I'm in the warehouse now, so I got some stuff. All right, cool. Let's say we got this cleanser, right? Cool. So let's say I got this cleanser. I know I'm gonna sell about 2,000 of these units a month. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna get them from my supplier, pack them up, get them on this big rack, all this stuff, through our shrink tunnel, and then I'm gonna give it to fulfillment center at Amazon. What that looks like is we're boxing it up, we're labeling it, we're palletizing it, getting all these units together, and then shipping it. I'm in New York, so shipping it to a fulfillment center near New York. What Amazon is then doing is saying, okay, we know we need about 20 of these in Wisconsin, 100 in Miami, 50 in Cali, blah, 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 blah. Keep some in New York, etc. It's moving it all around the country because they know what the demand is. And then when a customer places an order, let's say we got those units in Cali, when a customer in Cali places an order, it's gonna deliver it to the customer and we get paid. Amazon takes their cut. So that's fulfilled by Amazon. And obviously, it's really good to leverage it for a few reasons. At the end of the day, Amazon is a customer first platform. They prioritize the customer over you and me as sellers, anything. So they want speed of delivery, right? And when you utilize FBA, look, I'm in New York. There's no way if a customer did FBM from me, I would be able to get the product to them the same day. But using FBA, it's possible. So what happens is because you can get the customer's product to the customer faster, Amazon kind of likes you a little more. They give you a little more what you call, let's not get into it too much, but something called a buy box, which is, where you press that add to cart and buy now button. That's called the buy box. That's the seller in the buy box. We'll say that for another video. I'll link that at the end, explaining the buy box a little more, not to get off topic. But when you utilize the FBA, the real benefit of it is you can get to the customer faster, you're gonna generate more sales. But on the other side of the spectrum, the downside is you are paying a fee to Amazon for that delivery, so it will cut into your profit per sale, right? You're gonna make less per sale if you have to pay them out. The benefit is because you can utilize Prime, Amazon Prime, and get to them faster, you're gonna generate more sales. So usually, for most sellers, the best route is to go with FBA, especially if you're doing volume. Like for us, we sold about a little under 700,000 units last year on about 10.3 mil. And if we had to, listen, I'm in the warehouse right now. We got 2 guys that work this warehouse, right? Sometimes one, doing thousands of units a day, prepping for Amazon, FBA. We had to handle individually all of those damn near 700,000 units that we sent out. We would have need way more staff, way more complex, missing labels, things would be going, getting lost in transit, etc. Things get lost in transit after you send it to Amazon, it's their responsibility, it's their mistake, not yours, right? You put the liability on them. Things break in transit after you get it to them, their mistake. So That's one of the benefits of FBA. On the other side, there are a lot of companies that do very well on FBM and they make more money per sale usually because they're not paying Amazon those fees. FBM does serve a purpose, and what you often see is people in one of the models we're going to talk about, because next I'm going to get into the different ways to actually utilize both of these models to actually make them more work. A lot of people who do FBM, are small, tend to be smaller sellers. You do have a lot of large ones, a few large ones that do it, but majority is smaller sellers that use a model called arbitrage that do FBM. So that's the routine: FBA, FBM, FBA fulfilled by Amazon, FBM fulfilled by merchant. When you use FBA, you get to utilize all that prime network to generate more sales, quicker delivery to your customers. FBM, you get to keep a little more per sale profit in your pocket, but you don't get to utilize this crazy infrastructure that Amazon has. All right, now we got that. Let's get on to the next thing. This is the different ways that you can sell on Amazon. So FBA and FBM are just the fulfillment methods, right? How you get to the customer. But what are you selling? So there are 4 main ways to sell products online. One is called drop shipping, as very popular a few years ago. Still pretty good, but not as popular as before. And that's when you have a website, or what used to be, you can used to do it on Amazon, you can't anymore. But you have a website, and when someone places an order, you don't touch the product physically. What happens is your supplier ships it directly to the customer when they place the order. Now, it doesn't work on Amazon. Amazon hates this model because at the end of the day, it's a customer first business, meaning that, well, actually, what it just means is that they don't want people to get your item directly from a supplier like that, because it could come late, it could come damaged, it could come in all kind of forms, and you're almost like removing yourself from the equation. As the seller, it's your job to make sure everything is working, right? So what often happens is with drop shippers on Amazon, they get kicked off, their money gets tied up because the delivery and what's happening to the customer is not what works in Amazon's eyes. So they don't let it happen anymore. So dropshipping is going on Amazon for the most part. Now we got one of the more popular models, and if you are on social media, which you are right now, but if you're on a lot of these shorter form social media platforms like TikTok and stuff like that, people love this model. It looks so cool, right? It's called arbitrage. And what that is you go to a store, Nike, Target, Ross, Walmart, blah, 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 Best Buy, whatever, Home Depot, you scan a product, see what it sells for on Amazon. You're like, oh, I can make $20 on this sale. Buy a couple of them, or you try to run the store out and buy as many as you can if it's a really good deal. And then you go and lift it on Amazon. You go to your house, you label it up, send it to a customer, and you're making money. That is the arbitrage method. You're buying from a retail location, right? It could be online as well. So Target online would work for online arbitrage, but we're talking about retail arbitrage now, which is going to the store. Going to the store, you're buying something at a retail price. You're arbitraging it, selling it for more on Amazon because the price that is selling for on Amazon is higher. That is the arbitrage method. Upside of arbitrage, you don't need that much capital to get started with it, right? You can get started with a few $100s if you're in high school or college. Good model, right? If you have time to walk around stores and do these things. Downside of arbitrage is you're buying at retail, selling at retail. Usually your profit is going to be pretty minimal. Next thing is that if you find something like some kind of carrying case for meat or something, anyway, find one of these. Let's just say you can sell 2,000 of these a month. What happens? Most stores do not carry 2,000, right? So you can't maximize your profitability on these fast-moving products on Amazon because, generally speaking, you can't get enough units from arbitrage to do it. Downside is pretty much that. You can't get enough units, and oftentimes the profit margins are really, really slim for arbitrage sellers. Difficult to scale. You're starting to get it. Next one you have up is another very, very popular one because it looks super cool, right? This is called private label. This is where you see a lot of people go to sites like Alibaba and stuff, and what they'll do is they will buy a branded product, see that it sells for very well on Amazon, buy a branded product, and then put their brand name on it and then list it on Amazon. Now, the benefit of this model is you own your own brand, which is always cool to own your own brand. You can sell on different platforms, you have complete ownership over it. And you're gonna make more money, generally speaking, because if you do well on private label, because you're pretty much picking the price. You can alter that price as you want, as long as people have demand for your product. Now, the downside of private label is you're starting your own brand. To launch a brand, you need logos, you need marketing, advertising on the platform, which costs money, right? You can go in the negative. If another competitor comes with a better product or better marketing, they can blow you out of the water. Kind of isolated because let's just say you launch a product. Like I was talking to a guy in one of our mentorship programs, and he had a product, and Amazon pretty much took it off, and he took that style of product off the platform. But it's to move to TikTok, right? And thank God there's TikTok there, because if not, how would he have made money, right? Because all your eggs are somewhat in one basket. One of the other downsides that I see with private label sellers is it takes a while to build a brand. It's not as quick as you might think. It does take a few months to really get up and running. You have to get the marketing together, you have to get the logo together, you have to get the packaging together, you have to get samples to make sure that the product is good enough before it goes to market. You have all these like pre-steps before you start making money, right? So it's a slightly riskier of a play, right? Its upside is a lot higher than the other models we talked about. The downside is you can go into the red, and you will be in the red for the first few months. You can go into the red further. I've seen people go into the red for years. If the product is wrong, the product market fit is wrong, the marketing message is wrong, they're paying high advertising costs, so they're just taking a loss along the way. And then, so that is private label. Now, the last model, which is the model we chose and the model we've done for the past 4 years, and probably my favorite model, is wholesale. Now, it's somewhere between, it's more scalable than arbitrage and less risky than private label, so I think it's a sweet spot. So what it is you're almost acting like an online version of Walmart or Target, right? So what we're doing is, instead of going to a store like Target or Walmart and buying directly from them, we're buying from suppliers that would sell to them, or sell to your local grocery, or sell to your local beauty store, right? So we're getting the bulk, right? And we're getting it at a wholesale price, right? We're getting it at a wholesale price, and we're able to get as many units as probably that we want, so that we can maximize how many we can sell on Amazon. So the wholesale model is simply buying brand name products from suppliers in bulk, right? So we don't need to do any marketing. We don't need to do any brand creation. We don't, generally speaking, don't need to do any listing creation on Amazon. There's already listings there that we can hop on. So we got a lot of products going out today. Eye cream. So if we were to sell this eye cream, there's already a listing for this eye cream on Amazon. So all we are doing is saying, say it sells for $20, right? We know in the past 12 months it's sold for as low as $18. What price do we need this at to make whatever margin? In our case, we don't go under 12% margin right now, but we average around a 20% margin. What do we need to make at least a 12% margin on this at its worst price? Its worst price in the past 9 to 12 months, that worst case scenario. We go to find a supplier that has the product, find out how many units we can sell for a month, do a little test order, like what we expect to sell in a week, we get at the price we need. So it ends up being relatively less risk because you know there's already demand for the product. You know what price you need it at based on its historical low pricing to find out exactly what you need to get at to make the money you want. And you know it's a brand that pretty much has already done the marketing, done the pictures for the listing, etc., where you don't need to go and pay for marketing for that brand. It allows for a lot of diversification. Like for say right now on our main store, there are about 4,500 different listings, and let's just say 10 listings go down. Cool, we can replace those with another 10 listings. 20 listings go down, we can replace those with another 20 listings. So it gives a lot of versatility, right, in our marketplace, where we can continue to expand with these other brands that are coming on the platform, and we're not limited to, pretty much falling off when a brand might fall off, because there's always an influx of new brands coming in. We always have a chain of stuff going on. Now, the downside of wholesale is obviously you don't own the brand, right? There's no ownership here. So as you do have these times where brands come in and pretty much kick sellers off the listing, and they put up all these like red flags, like something like transparency labels, another video, but stuff like this where it can kick third-party sellers off listing. Now that is the downside, right? You don't want to put all your eggs in one or two brands. Like if you're just in one or two brands, you're not really utilizing the benefit of the wholesale model. You want to kind of spread across a lot of brands. Not that many suppliers, you want like maybe 3 or 4 suppliers, but a whole lot of brands, a whole lot of different products, so that you can be pretty flexible in your business. So that's how we chose the wholesale model. We've been doing it for the past 4 years. It's what we teach people to do, especially if they're new to the e-commerce space. We think it's the most scalable model, and also probably the safest model for a new seller that has, probably some side income, at least $2,000 saved up, and has a relatively lower risk tolerance, but also has not that much time to be walking around the store doing arbitrage. So I'll do wholesale. So if you want to learn more about how to do the wholesale model and how to just help you grow and scale your business, I'm going to drop a link below, which is our completely free masterclass that pretty much reiterates a lot of stuff we talked about here, but also teaches the framework that we use that helps us scale wholesale businesses relatively quickly. And not just us, the stores we manage, our students, etc. Even having like $50,000 first months. So please adopt this framework. If you get into wholesale, it's the quickest way to profitability. And if you like this video and want to find out more about how to find wholesale supplies, I'll be leaving a video over here that's going to go right into how to find the best wholesale supplies in the US and get you to profitability fast. And be sure to leave a comment below if you want any other content from us that would really help you grow your Amazon business quickly. I got you. See you soon.